What's up, folks? Still in Comic Geek coming to you with some information. Not a haul video, at least not yet. There will be a haul video coming after I attend this event. But here I am today talking about Fan Expo New Orleans, which will, at the time of this recording, take place next week. So it will be the week of January the 5th, 6th, and 7th of 2024, the first Comic Con for the new year. And if you want to see or at least listen to what I have to say, stay tuned for the video. Now, before we get into all this comic book related content, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. So when videos like this one drop ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or later, as long as you watch it. We appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. We're in the spirit of giving still. Here we go. How about a coupon? If you are looking for some boards, bags, other protective items for your collectibles, records, cards, etc., visit bcwsupplies.com. Use the coupon code SCG to save yourself 10% on your order at checkout. And then also, if you are like me and you like some good coffee to go with your good comics, visit comicsoncoffee.com. Use the coupon code SCG at checkout to save yourself 15% on your order, and the link is in the description of this video as well. The Linktree link that has all the platforms that I'm on, whether IG, YouTube, the various coupon codes, comic art fans, etc. You can see that in the description below and go check out all of those platforms. So I'm talking about Fan Expo New Orleans. Now, this used to be Wizard World until a few years ago. Actually, the year 2020, the year which will be in infamy, right? That was the last year it was actually called Wizard World. And then from there, when they came back after that event, it became Fan Expo. So Fan Expo is one of, if not the largest of collective comic cons in the country. Probably one of the biggest ones being MegaCon is owned by them as well. I yearly attend Dallas Fan Expo, which has been a pretty large event. And from the time that I first went in 2020 until now, Fan Expo seems to be back on New Orleans, seems to be back on the rise from past the pandemic, because this year they've got a huge slate of cast of characters, whether it be celebrities, voice actors, and or comic creators, which to me personally is the bigger part of this. They're getting a bigger cast of characters. So it's good to see that it's growing, because straightway after the pandemic, just kind of wonders like, man, are they just going to kind of call it quits down here in New Orleans? Because when Fan Expo, to my understanding, when they purchased the Wizard World, the ones they kept were Chicago and New Orleans. And, pretty much shuttered the other ones because they had other venues going on different times. So they didn't really need them. But it's really nice to attend a decent sized con that's only 2 hours away from home. Typically, like with Dallas Fan Expo, even you're talking about a 7-hour drive for me. And certainly if you get into the deal with flights, which I've only flown to one Comic Con before, because it's a nightmare trying to get all the stuff back that you buy. But anyway, it's really nice to be able to just drive down there. I plan to attend. It's going to be open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I plan on attending Friday and Saturday. And it's going to be nice just to drive back home that night when you get through and drive back the next morning. It's no big deal. At least 2 hours for me is not a big deal. So let's show the website and we'll let you take a look at it for yourself. So we're on the Fan Expo New Orleans. So every Fan Expo has its own website. I think there is a collective website, and you can get to each of these websites by themselves. And as you can see from the time that I am taping this, it's only 5 days away, and starts January the 5th and goes through the 7th. So again, the first Comic Con of the year. And here you can buy your tickets. photo ops, and the like. Now, on the photo ops side, it's been my experience that if it's a really, really big celebrity, that you want to go ahead and buy your photo ops early. Uh, I know a lot of people just like to show up and spontaneously, is that a word? Serendipitously, let all of this happen. That works in a lot of it, especially like on the comic creator side. But when you're talking about these celebrities, which, like it or not, a lot of these cons have gotten to be more celebrity and voice actor oriented than they are the comic oriented. But when dealing with them, a lot of people are coming for them. And so they're willing to stand in a long, long line. So keep that in mind. You don't want to get there and have your shoulder slump that your guy or gal is not going to be able to see you. All right, so let's go to guests. First off, we'll start with the celebrities because they do have a big cast of characters here, and and they have a big grouping, which I've seen to be kind of a thing with them, which makes sense if you like a particular franchise. You like to see a lot of the stars in the franchise. A lot of times, get more bang for your buck, if you will. Right off, they have all the hobbits. Elijah Wood is showing right here. Charlie Cox. So they have the Daredevil cast, which you see John Bernthal here. They have a lot of the Terminator 2 cast to include Linda Hamilton, not Arnold, but they do have Linda Hamilton, the young John Carter, among others, as we'll see. A lot of the Mandalorian cast. We got Juliette Lewis, who's, I guess, Natural Born Killers was probably her latter work. She was known as being older. Rose McGowan. These days, better known as the person that turned Harvey Weinstein in. So there's the rest of the hobbits. We got Bruce Campbell, known for Evil Dead, the cameos in the Spider-Man movies, etc. He will be there, and you can pre-purchase your photo ops and signatures from him as well. Danny Trejo, most recently in the Book of Boba Fett. We've got several from Star Trek. Here's the Kingpin, Rebel Moon, which is a new Scott Snyder. Yeah, Scott Snyder, as in the Snyderverse, did basically saying it's like a Netflix Star Wars, but she's the star of that. We got Jonathan Frakes from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Once Upon a Time, of course, Randy Quaid, Jason Lee, Felicia Day, another couple of Mandalorian folks. Here's the new and updated Terminator. He will be there. He was in Terminator. Was he in 1? I think he was in 1. Of course, we got RoboCop. Another one of the charm people. We'll go with Rose McGowan, and Michael was in Terminator 1 as well. So they're kind of blending the two together. This guy who was the dwarf and Gimli in Lord of the Rings, and then also Indiana Jones. I think he was in the most recent one as well. Sean Gunn, who plays anything that James wants him to play, basically. And let's see, Chase and Amy. Yeah. They've only had one guest at least listed that has canceled on them, Jeff Ward. I'm not sure who he is. So let's go to the animate. So they have panels. Well, I'll talk about that. Okay, let's go to animation voices. So typically, as I stated earlier, usually the comics creators are the main draw for me. I mean, you might get one on the side. A few years ago, I got Kevin Conroy, fortunately, before he passed away. But typically, it's the comic creators. And this is maybe one exception to that. There are some great comic creators, which I'll show in just a minute. But to have the voice of Optimus Prime and Megatron together here, unfortunately, they're not going to be there but for Saturday and Sunday. I try to get most of the big, harder to get stuff out of the way Friday when it's less attended, so that like I can play cleanup on Saturday, whether it's dropping off a sketchbook to do and then I'm picking it up Saturday, that type of thing. So I'm not all day Saturday, because typically for me, I'm like wore out by Saturday because I've done the hardcore stuff on Friday and I'm just batting clean up on Saturday. But they're not going to be there but for Saturday and Sunday. So plan to get a big giant lithograph that was done by Andrew Wildman, which drew a lot of the later Transformers, for Marvel Comics. A big lithograph that he signed, and that I got the voice of Grimlock already to sign. So we get these two to sign. I've already gotten the voice of the Brain to sign a Funko Pop. Tara Strong, I got her to sign a Batgirl, first appearance of Batgirl recreation. This one was kind of one I've been on the fence of because Rob Paulson also did the voice of Pinky, from Pinky and the Brain. And so I got him to sign a Pinky. But he also did Raphael from the original Ninja Turtles. It seems like a later version of the Ninja Turtles. He ended up doing a Donatello voice. But anyway, so you have all four of the cast. I really thought about getting them to each sign their own Funko. Or maybe if I had like the 4 set, which I used to have, and I sold it on eBay, of the NECA Turtles, which are really look like the OG cartoon crew. I'm kind of not set on that as of yet. So, and then of course, Dora the Explorer, not my cup of tea, but it is somebody's, I'm sure. Then we've got some anime guest. I'm really not going to know who. Well, I guess I know. That's the main voice for the main character there. And the rest of these, as you can see, not too terribly many of them. I guess that's a big one. Maybe the other ones are. You have to let me know down in the comments if I'm totally missing this one. Gaming Stars. Not sure. Gaming Stars. Oh, okay. So they did voices on the games. Okay. So one of the Halo voices. Of course, Tara Strong's done a bunch of stuff. She did Miss Minutes and Loki too. And let's get to the comic creators. Okay. So on the comic creators, we've got Ryan Otley. Big name. Obviously most known for Invincible. Did some the Donny Cates run on Hulk. Did some cool stuff. I've already got him to sign a couple of things, so he's not on my radar. Stephen Platt is a name that I don't know if he's getting back into the con scene, but I know that when I went to Galaxy Con Austin last year, he was on there. He was one of the main ones I wanted to see because you just never see his name pop up. Brian Azzarello, who has written and drawn some awesome stuff, is going to be there. Tom Grummett. I've met Tom before, got him to sign a couple of books. I would love for him to do, and actually have it like sketched out, the design layout of a commission for him to do. Unfortunately, and if somebody's watching, it doesn't matter to me. But his agent is not very helpful. So his agent doesn't respond back to emails, even when you call him out on Facebook. So there you go. So we'll see. Tom will be there. I don't want to make a to-do about it. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just going to say, yeah, contact him. He just, he acts like he's going to get with me and he never gets back with me. That's what I'm going to tell him about his agent, and he can think what he wants to. Michael Golden, I've gotten him to do a Rogue sketch cover, got him to sign several books. Definitely a legendary artist if you have not already got stuff from him. Tony Harris, I got him to sign something at Dallas Fan Expo last year, or I guess fixing to be last year. But he's probably better known for his Starman stuff. And he will be there. Tim Jacobus says Goosebumps cover illustrator. That's pretty dope. Jay Lee, he's pretty prolific at these conventions. Got him to sign several things. Carl Potts. Yeah, so Carl Potts, illustrator, editor, writer. Worked with Jim Lee on the early Punisher stuff. I've got him to sign stuff before. Todd Langen, not familiar with him, but he's said the screenwriter TMNT, which is pretty interesting. Is going to be there. Never seen him. Heather Antos is going to be there. Why in the world would they even waste their time with Heather Antos? Hopefully they haven't paid her any money. I thought that maybe I would just get her to sign some books. It's like, hey, you remember killing these franchises? Here you go. Yeah, again, I'm not looking to make a scene, but it's my YouTube channel, so I'll make my point. comicsoncoffee.com. All right. So John Delaney shows Justice League Adventures, Futurama. This person was Sonic the Hedgehog. Guy Gilchrist, he's like at every convention. It's like, how do you get around as much as you do? Claudia Gray, I met her last year at Fan Expo New Orleans. Got her to sign one of my Star Wars books that she done. Looking over here at my shelf to see which one it was. Maybe Master or an Apprentice. Yeah, I think that's it. Gavin Guidry, he's kind of a local flair, and recently started on the Superman 78, the sequel to that. So maybe I might get an art page or something from him. Pretty dope. I've met him before at another smaller show. Clinton Hobart, he's pretty much at every show. Travis Heimel, Terry Kavanaugh. Now, he was a writer on the Web of Spider-Man back when they first introduced Scarlet Spider. So I've gotten like Randy Emberlin, Stephen Butler, and those guys to sign this various related stuff. Seems like last year he was supposed to have been at this particular con and was not for whatever reason, or maybe it was Dallas Fan Expo. So look to get him to sign that because I like my books to be double, triple signed if I can. Derek Kirk Kim. Not familiar with them, but they're going to be there every day. Tim Lati is going to be there. It's funny that I actually own the cover to this image right here. No, I don't. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. There's the blimp right there. Yeah, I actually own this cover. I bought it from Tim at a small con. He not too far out of New Orleans, and so kind of a local flair. Kerry Nord, for me personally, on the comic side of things, this is one of the people that I'm more excited to see. He did a lot of stuff on Exo Manowar, and plan to get him to do a sketch in my Book of Geomancer Valiant sketchbook. I've already got somebody to do an XO, and I really like, especially actually, you could probably go through every of the Valiant characters and run out of pages in that book. A lot of people don't realize that, but so I've already got an XO. So I'd really like to get maybe him to do another character. I've already got an Eternal Warrior. He did a run on Eternal Warrior, short one, but so maybe get him to do a Bloodshot. Maybe, I don't know. Leave me some comments down below who you think I should get Kerry Nord to do the sketch for. Stephanie Phillips, yeah, you know, I picked up these issues of Rogue and Gambit miniseries just because it's had some pretty cool covers. Story was like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. She did Harley Quinn too, which I didn't read. This Joshua Swaby, just now really seeing stuff by him, like Catwoman covers look pretty nice. Michael Swanigan, animated director, storyboard artist, and author. I'm assuming like all these characters right there that he's part of, which is pretty dope because you're looking at childhood. Joe Wass, he's pretty prolific at these cons. Scott Bierstadt, Jeff Brennan, Jeremy Clark got a cover that he done, and he's from Arkansas, so you see him a lot at these southern type of deals. Derek Donovan, Sketch Ellis, John Holland, Rick Kincaid, Jim Kruger did Marvel's X. Met him actually at the first Fan Expo, which is still Wizard World then, that went to. And really nice guy. I got him to sign several things. William Russell, Fabrice Sabowski, which was the co-creator of Spider-Man Noir. I've got him to sign some stuff. This Daniel Scott, not sure about him. I don't know him, but like this illustrations that I see around him, I've seen them on CAF. Pretty dope, pretty dope. A little on the pricey side. Like it'd be something that, okay, I'd pick it up if it was a little bit more affordable. But Vernon Smith, part of the TMT Ventures, maybe I can get some stuff signed I have to look. The problem with CLZ on some of the newer stuff that some of these it's not fully fleshed out of who the writer, artist, all that kind of stuff were. So I miss some of that stuff sometimes. Because CLZ is how I determine like the books. Because I'm horrible at, if I said Jim Lee, I'd still, even though I know a lot of Jim Lee covers and am familiar with them and have a lot of them, I still wouldn't be able to get them all right. You're going to forget about one. Go, oh man, yeah, that's the one. That one side. So I use CLZ. And I put in the writer or artist name, and they pull up all the ones that I have, and I go, "Oh yeah, that's the one that I wanted to get." Author pseudonym, I've got him to sign stuff before. Best known for his zombie stuff. Ray Withstater, got her to do stuff before too. Martin Zavala, I don't know that. Well, that's a pretty cool looking ghostwriter there, though. Canceled guest Jackson Lansing. I didn't have anything for Jackson to do, but actually not listed on here is Dan Slott. The original press release that we got, I have a press pass for Fan Expo, and the original press release we got was Dan Slott was going to be there. Not a huge Dan Slott fan outside of some of his Spider-Man work, but was going to get him to sign some of those books. And he had a schedule conflict, couldn't make it. So, as with every con these days, you're going to have your cosplay, and then they've got a whole list of attractions, things that you can do. This is one of the things I'd really like to get better at. Going to cons is to take the immersive full experience, because I am so laser like focused upon getting the signatures from the folks, getting the sketches laid up, sitting in line for all that stuff, and then on occasion checking out the comics. And I say on occasion because with these bigger cons, I see less and less dealers there, right? And then the dealers have their stuff marked up to 2020 prices, and yesterday's prices are not today's prices. It's funny that when the prices were going up, I would hear people play that clip, but then when prices went down, nobody played it anymore. But the opposite does hold true. And I haven't really seen the prices come down, and I get that they probably got too much in these books. Well, just don't put them up there. That's all I know to tell you. But yeah, so generally there's like maybe 5 comic vendors, maybe. Typically when I go to these shows, I go to either meet other people or the comic creators, people can get signatures, sketches from, etc. If I'm going to a town, like when I go out of town to Fan Expo Dallas, I go to Titan Comics and some of these other big comic shops around there, and that's where I get my deals for comics. But that's just me. There will be comics there. Don't know how many there will be there. The other good thing about Fan Expo is that they have an app. There's an app for that, and you can maneuver your way around. Fan Expo New Orleans, it's fairly big. I mean, it's not a small con or anything, but comparatively, just like say a mega con or something, it's nothing. So especially the bigger the cons get, the more important it is if you're wanting to kind of laser like focus on certain things, especially like some creators, like if you want to get on their sketch list, you better be the first person to that table, because they're going to take a few and then they're done. It's just not going to happen. Getting that mobile app is really helpful. You have a map, a floor plan map, schedule. I noticed last year with cons, and let me know in the comments below what you think, but last year I noticed with some of these Fan Expo cons was that there was more whatnot selling going on. And so the seller, comic creator, writer, mainly artist, they would be their person that was sponsoring them, whether it was Scott's Collectibles or Big Time Collectibles, whoever would have them on whatnot sales, selling, sketching, etc., signing. And so it really limited their just, hey, I'm here. I might be looking down at a drawing something. Let me look up, sign your books, and talk to you and move on. It really limited that time wise. It made it very like very, very hard to just like organically go up there and get it. You really had to time things out, which kind of sucked. but I get it. You know, it's really expensive to bring those creators there. It's really expensive to house them, gas, eating, all that other kind of stuff. So you got to figure out ways you can just make your time best use of your time. So, you know, it's one of those things. Here you can become an exhibitor, corporate, social media, toolkit, and Fan Expo meetups, etc. And buy tickets. Again, 5 days at the time of this recording. And so January the 5th through the 7th at the New Orleans Ernest N. Memorial Convention Center. Did they rename it? That's the same convention center as it's been being. So pretty dope. Looking forward to going. Looking forward. It's been a couple of months since I've been to a con. Timing, busy as schedule, all that kind of stuff. Life just kept me from being able to attend ones I probably would have attended otherwise. But yeah, so it's good to have one again, like I said earlier, close to home where you can just zoom down there, zoom back, and take care of your business, as it were. So let me know if in the comments or reach out to me on IG if you plan on going to Fan Expo New Orleans, or what cons are you excited about going to this year. I know the first one being for me is obviously Fan Expo New Orleans. Kind of teetering on. I really don't like to go to more than one big con a month. Obviously, financial reasons. When you're spending as much money on the hobby as you do, you kind of have to take a little breather, as it were. Because like when I go to these cons, I get crazy, man. It's like, man, oh man, there's awesome art, you've been picking up and stuff like that. So just assume not go, so you not have that temptation. So OAX, which is Original Art Expo, is going to be having a deal at the end of January. So that's two huge ones. And so it's down in Orlando. So it'd be a little bit of a drive for me. That sounds like a fun one. Well, then MegaCon, which is a huge one, is going to, and they're part of the Fan Expo deal. And with that, I probably could get a press pass for. So that kind of plays into that. And they're going to have art and comics, whereas like Original OAX is going to be nothing but art. Nothing wrong with it, as you know, if you're familiar with the channel, or me in particular, that a lot of what I'm collecting nowadays is the original art as opposed to the comics. I mean, I still go to the comic store every week, but as far as getting big comics to be gotten that I want to put in my part of my PC, there just haven't been any. So I don't know. There's several on the docket, but let me know in the comments below if there are some cons or what cons that you plan on going to. I've got these myself. I've got these cons that I want, on the bucket list, like San Diego Comic Con or New York, or of course I mentioned MegaCon earlier, and then the one that's in Chicago, not Fan Expo Chicago. It's the other one whose name escapes me right now. But yeah, so these ones that like every creator goes to, that you don't see all the time, or you want to get some signatures from, those like that. Terrificon is one that kind of off the radar, but got a huge load of creators. Love to have gone there this year, but just it couldn't happen the way it fell. But hopefully everybody has kind of laid out your collecting goals for the next year, and get laser light focus. Here I am throwing rocks in glass houses because, as you know, I'm very eclectic in my collecting. But the more focused you can get, the bigger stuff you can get. So anyway, that's what it is. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and smash that like button. And hopefully, if you are not already, subscribe to the channel. I drop randomly videos like this, unboxing videos, auctions and such like that. I've kind of been off the auction scene, at least on my personal channel, over the last several months. But probably going to get back to doing the Saturday morning auctions on this channel into the new year. So stay tuned for that. And as always, until next time, keep reading, keep collecting. Adios.